So let's take that word, and I'm going to go to Madhu first. What does mindfulness mean? Like, if we're talking to our audience and we're going to share this globally, what, in a few short sentences, what is mindfulness?
Okay, yeah, very good question. Because when we talk about meditation, we use mindfulness and meditation interchangeably as if they were the same thing. They are not. Meditation is the act of sitting in a particular posture and paying attention to your breath and trying to breathe as naturally as we can. And it is almost impossible, if you have never done it, to focus on your breath, because it just runs away and the thoughts come in, as we all know. It never stays with us. Mindfulness is what we experience after we have learned to follow our breath. That is that rich feeling, that warmth, that meditative magic, which is in which our whole body is engulfed after we have learned how to meditate. So people always confuse meditation with mindfulness. Meditation is paying attention to one single thing, preferably breath, and then also being aware of what is going on in the periphery. In the beginning, it's the outside, the sounds, the sights or smells. But later on, it is the peripheral awareness within our mind, the memories, the feelings, the thoughts. So these two together, when they are put together, and in fifth, sixth, seventh stage of meditation, you are skilled enough that attention and peripheral awareness, they become one, and then you become a skilled meditator.
Thank you. And it reminds me too about, and we'll talk more about that. I want to get the definitions out there from the three different perspectives, but it was hard for me, as I said, first to relearn to breathe, and then to quiet my mind. Like when I do sessions, like some gatherings and that, more from a spiritual level, people will say to me, well, I can't meditate for more than 2 minutes. And I'll say, well, you beat me at the beginning. I couldn't do it for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's hard. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. So thank you, Madhu. Kathy, from your perspective too, can you add anything that Madhu's?
No, I would not add on top of anything Madhu said about formal definitions of anything related to this. I mean, my experience is way more on the novice end of things, but it's applied to my writing life, and I try to apply it to my whole life, all consistently every day. So, just to pick up on what she said and what you again said about the breathing and the practice. A lot of times if there's distraction when meditation starts, and your thoughts are not focused and some people feel sleepy, that kind of thing. If you stay with it, you do come around to actually being able to successfully meditate. And then, the benefits of that are just, you really have to do it to be able to talk about it or be able to understand what it does in your life. And Madhu and I have known each other since, 2004 or something, I think. But this part, the mindfulness part, working together, didn't start probably till 2011 or something, 2012 for me to be involved. And one of the things I discovered from working with writing with her and doing mindful writing was that I had experienced meditative joy, whether it was writing and through other activities, walking, but I didn't identify it as that until I had been working with Madhu. And that's why we'll talk a lot about those other ways other than sitting meditation, walking meditation. But it's the idea that you can access that, that space on purpose. That is what's so useful to, whether it's healing your life or healing your work and your work life, because they're kind of three different things, but they all go together.
Well, it's kind of cool, like with what you're talking about. And again, I always relate back with things. And I remember when I asked the psychologist, what do you mean mindfulness? Like my mind's always full of things, like, what are you talking about? And she said to me, was there ever a time in your life where you felt totally at peace? I said, yes. She said, when? I said, the first time I was in Ireland and I stepped on this beach. And I felt so deeply connected to the earth, the sea, everything. It was as if you transcended to a different place and I was no longer in my body. She said, well, that's mindfulness, young lady. And that's what we're going to try to achieve and sustain. So Shelia, with that, then what's that connection? I can't relate to it in the terms you understand, but
I think, as you described it, people walk around with their minds just racing all the time, thinking about what do I need to do next? What projects do I have waiting for me? Do I have to pick someone up from somewhere? And I think that we have gotten so busy in our lives that we have forgotten to live our life and be aware of our life and just what does it feel like to be me? And I think that Kathy and Madhu both really, I'm sure they see this and they really get that it's so important for people to get back into their own bodies. And that's how people heal from trauma. They have to get back into their own body and feel comfortable in their own body. And, it's interesting with relation to writing and trauma. There's a type of therapy and it's called narrative therapy. And that is where a person writes about their experience. And it is a very, can be a very healing experience to tell one's story. And the act of writing it can also be so healing. So I love that both, Kathleen and Madhu have so many different rich ways to help people get back into their own mind and body. Just as a vacation from everything else that's going on.
Oh my God, yeah. And what I want to talk about with you guys, because what we're leading to is because trauma has sensory effects on, like how you see things, how you feel things, and even how you smell things. Like if there was a smell involved, during the event. So for me, I have a practice, and that's what I want to talk about now, like about what journaling does. And you talked about the narrative therapy. But for me, I have to journal first to quiet my mind down. I have to listen to music, very soft, like spiritual kind. There's a couple different channels that I like to listen to that I stream. But I have to quiet down. And a lot of people can meditate sitting up. I can't. As soon as I sit up, it's like the hyperactive person needs to get up and do something. And I have to put like that mushy ice in a towel and wrap it across my eyes to shut. And so to me, that's like my practice to instantly tell me this is time to calm and connect.